Alright everyone, Supreme Kami over here. So today's topic is going to be talking about the number 33 multi-mission coins over here. So in terms of this slot specifically, this one is going to be lasting for around 2 weeks before it's going to be changing into a different one over here. So this week around we have to be fighting the limited time the crew multi-mission over here, and then the following week we will be fighting the boss fight over here. So me personally, I prefer a little bit more on the boss fight than, let's say, the crew multi-mission, just because there's so many phases. I'd rather get through it as fast as I can to grind up all these multi-mission coins over here. But let's kind of talk about what kind of items you can be getting over here. There are definitely a lot of stuff that kind of wants you guys to just kind of grind out all the points, because like this part right here is going to be getting some previous weeks warfare and suits over here. So if any of you guys are missing, let's say, Rising Gundam, Blitz Gundam, or even the Gerbera over here, they're definitely going to be something, at least trying to get one copy of it. Whether or not you want to max out everything, that is definitely depending on how good the part is, how usable they are, and then what kind of like resources are you guys at the moment. You also do have the mobile sumo over there. So in terms of mobile sumo and then the pilot, the Harry O over there. So I did like a solo video for them specifically way back when it came out back in last year, October or August actually. So I did like an EXE showcase of that, just testing it out, and then just doing the alteration review for that. So I'll leave that one in the description below, because that one was like a alteration for the arena unit over here, so like the arena exchange unit. So that's why that was a solo. So you guys can definitely check it out. In terms of the Rising Gundam, Blitz Gundam, and then the Gerbera over there, I don't think, because all of them are separate from separate months, so I'm not going to redo like a brand new alteration review for them. I'm just going to quickly talk about which part I think are good, simply in today's standard. In terms of, let's say, the Rising of them, obviously with any of these parts, definitely try your best to see if you guys can at least get one single part of those set, because we don't know when is like the next time they will actually drop it again. Because right now we are looking at the second rerun of them already. If you guys don't pick it up right now, there's just no telling when we can actually get it. I don't think there's any particular part that you really need to form up to part trade level 10 or EX skill level 10, because I don't think they are all that hot anyways. In terms of Rising in the head, definitely not that hot, right? Falcon, definitely not that good. This one with the proper alteration, it should be doing no less than D power, so it should be hitting around B power ish. So if you guys really like the Rising Gundam REX skill, definitely do want to alterate it to gain that benefit. And whether or not you want to max it up to portrait level 10 or EX skill level 10, I don't think it matters all that much, because this one's not going to be dealing like a massive damage anyway. But obviously with a raise in the EX skill level, it will definitely help. But if you guys cannot get to EX skill level 10, that should be fine. With the proper alteration, you guys should do good damage already. And then the portrait are not that impressive, so that's why I'm not even covering them. What about this one? So this one's going to be a defensive hack alpha over here. So this one is simply just reducing your enemies melee and shot defense. I don't see this one being a very important one to be looking at. This one could be good if you are targeting, let's say, in those boss multi-mission where your enemy has some massive defensive wall. This is useful, but I believe, what are we looking at max out? So let's look at 39, and I believe with the proper alteration we are looking at 54%, if I'm not mistaken. I'll actually include image on the right hand side or just somewhere in the screen, so we can do like a comparison to that. I don't think you would be missing out that much anyway, so if you don't farm this one up to portrait level 10, that's fine, but or EX level 10. But if you guys do have the necessary resources, you can definitely go back to that later on. In terms of now going over to the Blitz Gundam. In terms of Blitz Gundam, I think the only two main parts I think is kind of good to max out is definitely going to be the head part. So the head part is going to be a health recovery tool over here. I think this one is not a bad option, just simply the fact that in terms of arena specifically, like 3 and 3, you do kind of need like a dedicated, like me personally, I have like a dedicated, not really like a dedicated healer, but if I were you guys, I would definitely have like a dedicated healer, so you guys don't take any damage, to kind of maximize what kind of 3v3 points you guys are getting. So just having this is good. 20% is a little bit lowballing it, but with the proper alteration, this one should be a very high output as well. So this one is maxing at 38. So I'll also leave the alteration version in somewhere in the screen, so you guys can definitely see what's the differences and all that. So simply, we're not even looking at the stat because they're just not really that good. This one over here, This one is going to be the Army EX skill. I think this one is a fun little gimmicky one EX skill to be looking at. So this one is already doing some pretty good chunks of damage already. So looking at B power, obviously max out level 10 EX skill, definitely going to be hitting a little bit harder. Plus that alteration is going to be good. But if you guys are lacking resources, definitely farm at least one copy of it and you guys should be fine. So that's that. All the other ones are just kind of like, yeah, they're not really that good. So now moving on to the Gerbera tier over here. So this one, I think the best part is simply going to be the back part, because this one is giving out that buff EX effect. So this one is definitely one of the best one to, let's say, kind of farm to portrait level 10. So this one is definitely not a bad option at all. This is probably the best portrait in the batch. So with the proper alteration, this one is going to be receiving another shooting power boost by 30%, so that's why it is going to be a very helpful part to be looking at for all your shooting builds out there. All the other one, like the EX skill, so this one where we're looking at, so this one is the panic maker though. So this one is definitely going to be a close range shot EX skill over here. So it's not anything too particularly like really good. So with a proper alteration, this one should be doing like B power, I believe. So it is definitely going to be hitting harder. All right, so the arm one over here. So this one, I believe even with the proper alteration, this one is still doing like a C power, so it's just not really going to be that helpful. So I think that is what I would recommend in terms of like focusing on, like if you guys are lacking some resources, for example. Those are definitely going to be my top recommendation in terms of just getting them. But like I said again, definitely try your best to pick up at least a single part of each of them just for the collection purposes. And then in terms of these over here, definitely pick up these over here. These are pretty good. You get some W awakening circuits, those are always going to be good. You get some more capital, that's not bad. These ones are pretty good. I don't think they come in a large quantity. Yeah, only 10 and 30 and then 50. Yeah, kind of wish that they would increase that by a lot. This one, some nippers, 40. Yeah, not really cutting it either. So last but not least, we do have everyone's favorite. So these are going to be some emblems that you guys can be getting. So you are ranging from a lot of series as well. So you got AE UG right there. You got this one, I believe is the orb. That is it? Yeah, that one's the orb one right there. So got more right there. This one is going to be the sap right there. This one is actually no, this one is the orb one over here. So this one exclusively for your cost grader, I think, right? So you got your what is it, Anaheim electronics right there, and then you got Celestial Being. This one's definitely going to be a big favorite. You got your Eye of Blood orphans over here. The Tekadon, I believe that's the actual name of the crew and whatnot. I forgot, honestly. Like, it's been ages since I watched Eye of Blood and orphans, so that's that. Celestial Beings, and then this one I believe should be your crossbone stuff right there. And I don't know what that one is. This one should be for your Delta Gundam, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have your, obviously, you got your what is it, the new Gundam stuff right there. So yeah, it's not bad. Definitely a lot of farming to be doing. They are gonna be costing you 1,000 a pop there, so it is gonna be a little bit expensive. So but with that said, now let me actually hop into some gameplay of like what is gonna be like the best method in terms of clearing the crew motivation over here. Like I said again, if you guys are not in a crew, you guys will not even be able to enter. So that's why I highly suggest you guys to be go out there and just kind of find a crew. I will actually leave the GNL Discord server down in the description below as well, so you guys can have some other means or ways to just kind of find a crew. They have like a dedicated page, just just like a crew recruitment and all that. So that's why it's gonna be helpful for you all. So in terms of the crew multi-mission, we are definitely gonna be targeting the EX stage over here. So the best way to do this is actually gonna be hosting it yourself, because if you do host it, you are gonna be able to get a little bit more let's say points of it. So let me show you guys real quick. So this is going to be the build that I'm going to be hopping in over here. So I think yesterday when I did talk about the build project part, I think there was a request to talk about showcasing up the actual EX skill, so that's why we are going to be doing that. So EX skill that we are going to be running to steam of this event, it's going to be the Rolling Buster, obviously, no brainer right there. We got the actual drop, do have an EX skill level 2. And then last but not least, so this is actually my, in terms of overall skin, this is actually my arena, so like the 3v3 arena setup. So that's why I have a healer over here. So I'm not really going to be using a second wings EX skill over here, but this is going to be the cooldown build. So going to be maximizing 100%. So 20, 20, and then we have another 20 right there, 20 right there, and then 20 right there. So this should be a fun run. And then after that, I'll actually hop in once again. I do have a different build for you guys, and then I think that should be pretty much it. Alright, so we are in. So this map is actually quite large. I do want to see if the Axel can actually cover everything. So why is actually really good. So this is going to be a very good prime example for you guys. So this is a AoE attacker over here. So I was able to clear the whole map. Like you guys can see that there are definitely enemies that are from the outskirts. Supposedly we're not even supposed to reach them with like your normal shooting, for example. But with the Axel drop, you can definitely just wipe out everything. So that's why this is one of the best EX. This is probably one of the more unique one. We have not really seen another iteration of it, so that one didn't get hit. So that's why if you guys are talking about like, oh, which one should I really get, definitely pick up Axel. There's definitely no other EX skill that rival this one over here. Even the Rolling Buster has its shortcoming. This one doesn't really give you that range like I need it to be. So even that, or barely reaching it. So that's why Axel is just one of a kind. Honestly, there's just nothing that can describe it. So I'm gonna drop over here and then we will be out. But next up, I will be bringing a fun build that I like to use in terms of for just any of these multi-mission over here with like multiple phases. So we will be right back. Alright, so you guys can see that since I am hosting the multi-mission over here, you guys can see that I am actually getting a little bit more in terms of the multi-mission coins over here. So that's why it is very good to be hosting it. So if you guys are doing in a crew format, for example, maybe you guys can kind of just negotiate like, oh, maybe I do like you host 4 runs and then the next person hosts another 4 runs, and then just kind of repeating that whole process, so everyone is able to kind of benefit and just kind of maximize what kind of multi-mission coins you guys can be getting. So I will be doing one more run and that should be pretty much it. Alright, so this is going to be another skin that I am running over here. So this is a fun one that I like to use. So I have Transit right here just to raise a little bit more on my shot attack right there when attacking. So this one is going to be a very good EX skill to be looking at over here. So we have yourself a GN Lance Spit over here. So this is going to be from one of your Transient's EX or melee weapon EX skill. So I like this EX skill a lot because this is like a fun side EX skill, but not really at the same time. So it's basically shooting up bits, and then I don't know, this one, it seems to hit target a little bit more faster than normal type funnels. That's why I'm like, man, this is like fun EX skill to be looking at, and then just simply being able to travel like a fast pace, and just being able to knock out your enemy at a rapid speed as well. Just just being able to, like, there's not really like a time lag from like per shot for say. So that's why I like this EX skill. We also do have the Legated Spit, just a little bit more of like the offensive attack. I don't really need it just because in terms of the GN Last Spit, it's basically being able to take care of everything that is within the vicinity. So that's why I just click on that EX skill, and that is pretty much it. So let me do hopping out and see, show you guys how that goes. Alright, we are here once again, so let me do activate the transit real quick, and then we are going to click on the GN Lance Spit over here. So it's going to be shooting out 6 bits over there. Look at that, we are already hitting someone already, and bam. So this one does not really have any time lag, so once they latch onto an enemy, it just explodes onto them, and that's it. So you do have to do a lot of clicking, but you guys can see that I don't really have to be walking too much, like go anywhere. I can just basically hover like within this vicinity, and then I'm pretty much good. So it is gonna drop basically anywhere where there's an enemy, and clicking it once again. So that, like, if you were looking at regular funnel, it would not function like this. Like, you'll probably take like a few seconds before hitting. So that's why I really like this EX skill, just for its versatility. So that's that. But I will have to say this one you do have to do a little bit more clicking, which is a little bit hassle, but why not, right? It's just a fun EX skill to look at. So alright, so let's hit that one, and then I'll read the last race. No, one more. Alright, so gonna be using this one as well. So this one is not anything too special. It just gives you a little bit of that aura there, or that little shield that it deploys when those the Legated shield right there. So that's why it's not bad, right? So they actually do not collide. They actually function differently, so that's actually cool as well. But this one doesn't really give you that range I like anyway, so I'm like, yeah, it's not as impressive as I want it to be. Even activating the limit break, I don't think with the shooting limit break, I don't think we are gaining that much range either, but this one does have the capability of actually targeting or just being able to kind of hit like the overall like the surrounding area. So that's why both of them are actually just top-notch EX gear to be using specifically in multi-mission over here. So with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it. So you guys can see that I am getting a little bit more multi-mission coins up here. So that's why if you guys are doing in a crew with like 4 people, for example, definitely try to see if you guys can just kind of rotate up so everyone is able to benefit and not just only one person hosting it to get every point, for example. But with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it. And then I'll catch you guys all on the next one.